right, everybody, we are live. We are back with another week of Tales from the Tavern, and I am so excited about this week's guest. I've been super excited about it all week, and so I'm going to just let everybody go around and introduce themselves, because they're all super rad, and I know you will think they are, too. So I'm going to start with Matt.
Hey, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm at Diagnosed Matt on all my socials. That's what I am online. I'm so happy to be here again. Usually work does not allow me to be on the new Tales from the Tavern ever since it switched its days. So I am very excited to be here. Thank you, Luna, for having me. And we booked this a long time out when I knew I was going to have this day off. So
He literally messaged me.
Back.
I have the 20th off. Great, you're booked.
Yeah, I was like, I know it's close to the holidays, but I have the 20th off for the first time, a Sunday off in forever, so I appreciate being here. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, well, I'm super glad that you are here to hang out, and yeah, it's awesome. Next, we're going to go down to Prue.
Hey, I'm Prue. I am also on the internet, like everybody else, at Proopy Pants for my personals. But I'm also part of Chasing Tales, which is me and my friends during lockdown started streaming our D&D game, and it's just keeps on rolling on. And we have a TTRPG variety show now. And so if you like TTRPGs, you're here, so you probably do. You can come hang out with us sometimes too if you want.
Yeah, and it's great. Prue, you stream on GMT, right?
Yes.
Yes.
If you are UK, Europe based, or on a weird shift pattern, we're the people for you.
Overnights, anything like that. Middle of the afternoon, work day.
Can confirm.
Matt captures a lot of our streams for like an hour between stuff at work, and I'm like, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, they keep me company overnight, so.
It's good stuff. I try to hang out there when I can. Actually, working from home makes it harder for me to catch daytime streams, but yeah. But anyway, I'm super glad that you're here. I'm glad it worked out to get you on. So, and Chris, we're going to go to you next. A lot of you may remember seeing Chris on our Halloween special back in October. So,
Yep. I'm Chris. I also go by Saint or DM Chris. I am the Dungeon Master for Discount Dungeons. Our season finale just dropped this past Wednesday. So perfect time to catch up now since there's nothing to get behind on again. We actually also started recording season 2 already. That was a fun episode. Can't spoil anything yet as much as I want to. You can find us at D_discount on Twitter. I can't remember. Pat, correct me because I'm bad with names.
Discount_D&D.
Yeah, there we go. That one.
You know, the one.
You can find me. Yeah, and you can find me at SDamons basically anywhere.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming back. We must have done something right. We didn't scare you away yet, so.
I mean, I was technically the one trying to scare you away.
That's true, and we invited you back, so.
Clearly, I didn't do a good job.
That's all right. We can try again another time. Let's see. And next, we're gonna go to Patch.
Wait, hold on a second. Is there a giveaway going on? Is that why I'm here?
There is, actually. It's funny you mentioned that, but it's on Twitter, so...
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But seriously, though, hi, everyone. I am Patch. I'm part of the Discount Dungeons crew. I'm one of the guys that Chris normally tells, please stop it. You're going to annoy me a little bit too much. But anyway...
No, that's not you. That's Vero.
That's true. Well, fair enough.
But I love Vero.
But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Patcher0730, and you can hear me on Discount Dungeons and a few other places, hopefully soon with the voice acting stuff. But anyway, I will move it along from there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming to hang out, and we'll talk a little more about the giveaway later. And
no entering Patch.
Too late.
He already did.
Oh, god damn it.
And next we have Staghorn or David or whatever you want to call him.
I am David Hallman. I am the Fungeon Master for Good Better Quest. It's a fun real play D&D podcast. and we just uploaded our season finale, as well as our kind of interlude into season 3. So if anybody wants to jump into somewhere, the interlude is a good spot. I'm thrilled to be here. Doug and Nolan got on here before I did. And so if you've heard any of them talking trash, it's all true. It's absolutely true. And I don't let them go in the woods, and I don't let them play or have fun. So that's why Fungeon Master is ironic.
I was going to say a misnomer.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. I love it. So yes, thank you all for so much for coming on, especially so close to all of the holidays. We were just talking before stream about the fact that Christmas is coming up and Hanukkah just ended, and so see, we have our Hanukkah representation. Patch was kind enough to put on his Hanukkah sweater for us, and we have our Christmas representation. Oh my gosh, that beholder, that's fantastic.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. And yes, because it's the holiday season and we at Shared Experience wanted to give back to our community, we have, yes, another giveaway, but this time we're doing it on Twitter. So we have a giveaway going on our Twitter, which is, just at Shared EXP RPG. I'll drop the link for the entry in chat. But we are giving away a copy of, if you haven't seen it yet, we are giving away a copy of Heroes Feast, which is the official D&D book, and it is so cool. I bought my own copy before I went, oh, maybe we should give one away. Troll Tide candied apples. That sounds good. So yeah, there's really neat recipes in here, and I definitely am looking forward to cooking some of the stuff that's in it. So all you have to do is head over to Twitter, which the link is right here.
If it's anything like the Skyrim cookbook, it's got to be badass.
The Skyrim cookbook is fantastic. Yeah,
I heard this one's pretty killer too.
I was about to say, if it's anywhere near that level, it'll be.
Yeah.
Let me.
I was going to say the discount crew actually tried some of the drinks and beverages out of it for our Friendsgiving.
Out of this one?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The delayed blast fireball.
Is it as...
There was no delay.
Ooh,
and the Mind Flayer. Unfortunately, our mixologist, Discount Chris, he mixed up the ginger ratios and...
oh no!
No.
Mine's were definitely flayed.
I don't think it's possible to mess up ginger ratios.
No, you can. Yeah, you can. There is a point where it is too much.
I'll buy a root.
I'm just showing off pages while you guys talk about stuff, so... Yeah. So anyway...
Bold strategy, biting our ginger root.
So yes, so if you're interested, I dropped the link in Twitter. All you have to do is go there, drop a follow, and retweet out the giveaway. So yeah, that's that. I am excited about that one. We're gonna do the drawing on Christmas Eve. So hopefully when we actually ship the book out, it won't get caught up in all the mail delays.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Let's
anyway.
not get started on those.
Yeah. So there we go. So we're going to dive right into some questions. The first one we got came in from Nolan. I usually have one to start, but questions started coming in before we got there. So
Perfect.
So Nolan would like to know, what's the best version of A Christmas Carol, and why is it a Muppets Christmas Carol?
No one speaks truth. Can't argue with that one.
I was gonna say this might be a pretty fast question.
Right?
Yeah, this is a quick one. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, there's no...
Yeah.
Next one, moving on.
And next question.
Right? Okay, done. And that's
I will
it.
say, real quick, because you reminded me of it, I did see Netflix has an original Christmas movie out now that I have to watch, and it is called A Trash Truck Christmas.
I saw that. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it on there.
Wait, what?
It looks
God.
like garbage.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Wait, do
I
you
was
mean that
banking on
literally
garbage being
or?
See what you did there.
Interpret it how you will. I
We
have to watch
watched.
it.
Yeah, we watched California Christmas last night. It's your typical Hallmark movie.
I watched the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special last night.
Well, you win.
Yep, it's true. It's tradition.
I watched the Dolly Parton Netflix one, and it is so good.
We
It is
stand
exactly
Dolly
what you
Parton.
think.
Yeah.
Like, it is tacky, but in the
Yes.
Dolly way.
Yes.
Like, oh, there's a bit. I want you to watch it, so I don't want to tell you, but there's a bit at the end where she's just in this outfit that's all rhinestones and angel wings and giant hair above like an
so she's
entire
Dolly.
church congregation being like, "Bless your Christmas," and I'm like,
Yes.
"Dolly, I adore
Dolly.
you. It's wonderful."
I want to say the last Christmas movie I watched was 2 weeks ago, and that was Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
I just have to
I've been
shout this
watching
out.
all my
Katie
Christmas
Machin, thanks so
movies.
much for the five gift sub bump.
Oh goodness.
Thank
Hell
you.
Thanks. Woo!
Woo!
I know, super cool. I love it. All right. So actually, the question that I was gonna start with actually came from a Twitter post from Star Shinobi, and I said I really like this question, and I'm stealing it. The question was, what is your favorite way that a GM, or if you are the GM, has opened a campaign or a one-shot? We've all woken up in a cell or at a tavern, but have you ever had anything unique?
I'll go because my sister is GM, and she always comes up with really cool campaign hooks. Her first ever campaign was her first ever time GMing. They were all being carried by griffins for some reason and were just dropped. And it started with, "You are like 200 feet in the air, you are falling from the sky, what do you do?"
Oh
And
my
I
gosh!
just had to solve it.
Good.
And then there was one, I was like, "I've got a mini game I'm running, do you have any good ideas for me?" And she was like, "Okay, they've all been magicked into a bubble under the ocean by like some powerful wizard, and the bubble has floated to the surface. They need to roll the bubble to land and then find a way to pop it magically." And
That's
then
fun.
and it's great because it's like immediately they have to team build, and also you're like, why are we in this stupid bubble?
That's cool.
Yeah, she's really good at them. The Griffin one's pretty crazy. She like skewered her husband's PC on a tree, and he nearly insta died in the first ever session of the first ever game she ran. But she's kind of benevolent and did not kill her husband's PC, so that's very good of her.
We stand the kind of benevolent DM.
What's benevolence?
Yeah, I don't.
Patch, can you what's that?
Not you,
Inform me.
What are
not you, Chris.
I think my most interesting entrance to a one shot was assaulting the lair of a adult silver dragon, and I think
Wow.
Patch was actually part of this one.
That's how the game started?
Oh, this
Yes.
was this the practice session?
Yeah, this is the practice session.
Okay, yes. I was there for that one, and yeah, it went about as well as you would expect.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
The barbarian nearly one-shotted it.
Yeah.
Also, silver dragons are nice. You shouldn't hit
true.
silver dragons.
Sweet
They're
babies.
cute.
Yeah, did a baby.
I don't know if this is like super cool, but it definitely wasn't a tavern. I started my last long campaign with a fight. So before the campaign started, I paired my players off with one another and had them sort of incorporate a little bit of each other in their backstories so that I could introduce them in pairs, and they all came in different ways and found themselves to one fight where they had to go and fight it together, because it was something super low level. I think they were like level 2, so it was like zombies or something, so it wasn't anything like a beholder or a dragon or something like that, but it was something that wasn't just in a tavern, and it kind of got them to interact with each other before everything had started, and everybody sort of had their own relationships formed before the game started. So I liked the way that happened.
That's awesome.
My brother-in-law is who I strive to be like as a dungeon master, and for our current homebrew campaign that he's running, my wife and I are married in the game as well. And we started that game building our characters like we were level 0, but like building the personalities of our characters at a springtime festival before the wedding.
Aww.
And so
That's cool.
yeah, so my
That's
my
cool.
wife
Oh,
and
that is
I-
cool.
Yeah, so it was that's been my favorite start to a campaign, because it was very sweet and chill, and then when things when everything went crazy, it was unexpected. It really, like, we were taken aback. Yeah, that's my all-time favorite.
Cool.
How am I supposed to follow that up?
You're not.
Fine. I guess just real quick, we played a couple games of Dread, the D&D group, and the second game that we played was kind of set in Wild West meets Silent Hill kind of game, and we basically got dropped off in the middle of, oh, you guys just like broke part of your gang out of jail. You're running away from like the sheriffs on the wagons and the horses and everything. What are you doing?
What you doing?
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? Oh, figure it out as I go.
I'm gonna run, that's what.
I'm gonna keep moving away from the bullets, thank you.
As a person who has to open a campaign here soon, actually, I'm feverishly writing notes on how I want to open this campaign. I'm gonna take all these and incorporate them.
All right,
Oh,
so
jailbreak during a wedding?
Oh yeah, no. Let me come at you with a hot take. First session, dead. Game over.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
liking these words that you're speaking
That's
right
it.
now.
Listen, I
That's
have actually done that.
It is session 0
It doesn't
and
go
over.
over as well as you'd think.
Nah, because everyone spent an hour making their character.
And now I'm the asshole.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I can't say that I have any fun stories.
Aww.
I mean, I have lots of fun stories, just none about like starting anywhere that's not a tavern or anything like that. But Nick plays D&D. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Has a question. He would like to know, what would your current main character or significant NPC, if you're a DM, what would they be the most excited to find under the Christmas tree, and what would they be the least excited to find?
Oh.
Ooh. I actually know this one. I know this one. So I play an IRL character that is on hiatus right now because we obviously can't meet in person, and my DM really likes when we can all get together and run in person. He is a turtle, and he's cleric and paladin. The most thing he would love to find underneath the Christmas tree is a stainless steel tea set, or like a platinum tea set with everything that included in it. And the least thing would probably be some sort of like cursed item. Anything that's like cursed has a curse to it. He probably would not mess with that whatsoever.
That's fair.
That's my sweet baby boy, and I miss him every day.
Oh,
I played an orc barbarian named Ron, who I loved very much. And he was all about his flails. So I think the top tier gift for him would be like flaming, raging flails of doom. And the
simple man, simple pleasures.
yeah, exactly. The lowest tier gift for him would probably be a book. It doesn't matter what book, all books.
Any book. Got it.
Any book. Just
Like, on the complete flip side to that, the two PCs I'm playing right now, both would be gassed to receive a book. They would love it.
Would.
Because, like, I'm playing a Furbolg in a Tomb of Alienation game, and her whole stick is that she is writing the first ever encyclopedia of the botany of Chult. So she is walking around Chult, and every time we find a flower or a leaf, she's like, I've got to write about it. I've got to write about it. Guys, you deal with the goblins. I found a cool flower. Just let me write about it. So I think for her, like, an array of weird flowers and pens and inks to write about them is, like, the perfect thing, so she can just be in her zone. And then the opposite for her, she's a cleric of life. And she probably would have ended up being a peace cleric if Tasha's had been out at that time. So she probably wouldn't want a weapon. She would be the complete opposite to you. She'd find a flaming, raging flail of doom and be like, "Oh no, I don't want to kill anything. This is bad."
You guys can swap. You guys can gift swap.
You want book?
Yeah.
Run no one book.
You can have my little flail if you like.
Yeah. Grunt smush. That was his thing. It's like when Runt gets mush.
So I'm thinking, because this is tough, because like for a 2-deck, I thought of a book, but he's already got his book that he cares about. I thought of a weapon, but he's already got his weapon that he cares about. So probably some better armor so that he doesn't get hit so much. That would be preferred. But I at least knew immediately what he would least like under the tree, and that is a monk. No monks. No more monks. Except for Graves. Graves is cool.
I want to say, you need to clarify, because Nix is in the chat.
No, Graves is cool, everyone else, no.
Yeah, good on monks.
Patch.
Bill.
Oh my gosh.
Patch, pick an NPC. I have a player here, so I don't have to do this myself.
Rivian.
Let's see. He'd hate most to get a thing of whiskey, like an aged whiskey. He hates whiskey. He would, however, love like a rare spice set.
That would be I can see it. Yeah, I can see that.
I think Evie would probably be pretty excited to find a dagger to add to her dagger collection. And
Oh yeah.
I
Oh god.
well, I call it her dagger collection because she just seems to keep acquiring them. So like she's got like a masterwork dagger, a silver dagger, and then 2 regular like just run-of-the-mill daggers, and like she just kind of keeps accruing them. And so she has taken to wearing them like on her belt. So she's just like walking around with daggers hanging from her belt.
Evie
Well,
swear to God.
the funny thing is, she's a ranger, and so you'd think she'd be excited about like arrows or a bow, but she is a terrible archer. Like she, and like you think I'm kidding,
confirm.
but yeah, she's really bad. Like
Yeah.
I cannot roll for her to do a thing. Although we did discover that she is exceptionally great at running along rooftops in the city. So
Parkour.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When did the collection turn into an armory?
That's a great
When
question.
you
I
can't
think
carry it with you
15
anymore.
plus, yeah.
David Tilstrot, this isn't a question. I just want to yell at Chris and Patch. I just caught up DD, and yells need to happen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at
Oh,
all.
Patch is sorry. I'm not sorry. There, we have both sides of it.
There you
Somebody's
go.
sorry,
Not sorry.
I'm not.
Or at least somebody's not sorry enough.
Yeah. I think it's he's not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm sorry. He's not sorry yet.
But he will be.
I'm never sorry.
Oh, goodness.
I was wondering when Dave was going to at me at one of the channels we serve and yell at me for that final episode, but apparently he did it live.
Yeah, I was about to say he's gonna wait till you're live on a show
Well.
and do it anyway. Yeah.
He didn't berate you in a corner. He dragged you to
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, no,
In front of
he
God
just
and everything.
brought it into
Maybe.
the pub. He brought it into
Yeah.
town square,
Yeah.
holding a big sign that says "Yelling here."
Yeah. That's
Love
the
you, David.
coefficient, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Nick is joined in now. Great.
And Nick plays with y'all, right?
He did a guest
Oh,
spot with us.
He did a guest spot. Was it what, 3-4 episode guest spot? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be what, a 1 episode, and then it just got longer and longer and longer and longer.
That's how it
I
happens.
think was it 4 or 5? I don't know. I think he
Was
might
that
just be a
5?
permanent part of the cast now.
It's just funny to me that it's like Tilstra's out here yelling at y'all, and then one of your own is like, "Yeah."
Yeah, hold on. We could ping like, you know, Vero and Megan and see if we can get them in the chat real quick and get them to yell at us too.
Everyone, let's get all of our players, get them in here, and they can all yell at us separately.
Yeah.
This is the time, right now. This moment's gonna pass, please.
No,
Hold on,
Okay,
let me-
Fire Luna, we're taking over your thing, and it's just going to be catharsis for players.
where's the beef?
At cast.
And we're gonna squash it. Welcome to Beef Squash. No.
I'm
Oh
just
my gosh.
imagining like ringing our team and being like, "Hi, I know you've been asleep for 2 hours, but I need you to get on the Twitch right now."
Hey, Andrew, can you come here real quick? I got something for you.
I'm writing in the Discord right now. At party, we're getting yelled at on Tails, and you need to join us.
Tails just turns into every like vent and rant channel.
Oh my gosh. You guys. All right. Well, while you all are trying to gather up your to
Rouse
gather
our
your
players.
party before venturing forth, what game was that from? That was actually from a game. I can never remember it. But I want to remember it, I can't. And when I don't care.
Monopoly.
Yes, it was from Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Remember that one? Yeah, me too.
Hey, I went hardline thimble, so he was a
Hot
tank.
take. Dang.
Race
All
car
right.
for me. It'd be all about the DPS and speed.
There you go.
Listen, if it ain't top hat, it ain't classy. If
Talk
it ain't
to- let
classy,
Hold on.
It
Let
ain't
him know
happening.
what's up. Keep talking these words because I'm understanding what you're saying right now. Let him know what's up with the top hat.
yeah. We stand top hat.
We stand the top hats.
I'll see myself out.
That's it. I have lost control. I'm going home. I am
I'm
home,
so
but I'm
sorry.
going home even
So,
more.
so, guys, when are we planning the Monopoly character one shot? Can we?
I'm
Can we
ready
Let's
get
to
roll
on that
into
one?
it right now. We got 3 DMs, 3 players.
Right?
I did, and Nolan will attest to this. I did make someone a D&D character that was Uncle Moneybags from Monopoly.
That's
He
amazing.
was a
Yes.
he was a monk. His darts were coins, and his cane was his bow staff.
Oh
Oh,
my
I
god!
love
I
it.
love it.
Beautiful.
I love. Oh my god!
Creativity.
That
at
was
its
actually
peak
that was
right
for
there.
Nolan's bachelor party.
Nice.
I actually have a goal
I-
of writing, which I have yet to start, but I've been talking about it for about a year now, of writing an Oregon Trail one shot.
Yeah.
Oh God!
That sounds
Let
like
me,
fun.
Let me play in that, please.
I want to go.
So
to there.
a short TPK, right? Like that.
Yeah.
We're all going into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Can you guys roll Constitution? Yeah, you all get dysentery.
Yeah, you're all dead. Bye.
Well, it's like the Tomb of
Unlucky.
Horrors.
Unlucky.
Oregon Trail is the Tomb of Horrors of Macintosh games.
Well, I was thinking about using the Savage Worlds system because they have the whole
Nice.
built-in for I mean, I know they do it like in D&D and stuff too, but Savage Worlds I think has a great mechanic for things like a challenge, you know, where you have to get so many successful rolls and, you know, you have to do that kind of thing. And so I'm like, okay, you reach a stream and now we're going to do a party challenge and here's what we're going to do, you know, and so all that good stuff. But
That'd be cool.
yeah.
I think it'd be super cool. Book me for that 20 minutes ago. That's how much I want to play.
All right, you're in.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I'm down for the misery. I mean, it fits very much with the shirt that I'm wearing.
Right? I think I just saw another question come in. Yeah, David Tilstra with the good questions. Here we go. Let's see.
Hey, David.
Would like to know, when did you realize that you were hooked on TTRPGs? I can answer
I
that
mean,
one
I
super
was-
quickly.
I was born to it, molded by it. It's just my life.
The TTRPGs.
No, but like, and I'm not lying. Like, my parents played it since I was in diapers, so there was no hope, no escape. I grew up with D&D on Saturdays, long marathon things.
That's so interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah, so there was no hope. There was no escape. One of the first books I learned to read was the Player's Manual.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
dang.
Oh wow.
So, like I said, I was legit molded by D&D.
Yeah.
I may have the opposite of that. I might be. I'm not sure if this is true, but I might be the newest one, like in this call to D&D. I didn't start playing till I was 18 or 19, so like 4 or 5 years ago. I started playing when I was like very like later on than most people start, because my friends and I just decided we wanted to try it. We were like, yeah, I mean, fuck it, like, let's just do it. I think it'd be fun. And none of us knew how to play. None of us had any of the books. None of us had read up on any of the rules. And we just started a full campaign that lasted 5 years. And we learned as we went. And I realized after that first session that we ran that this hit something for me that was very important. And it let me express myself, let my friends express themselves. And I just fell in love with it after that. And I was like, well, I guess I'll learn as I go because we've already started.
I am in a similar boat to you. I didn't start until college.
Mhm.
And I think I was 19 when I started. And one of my roommates was the DM, and I got into it because I have a degree in theater, which is worthless.
That's like a prerequisite.
That would explain
yeah.
why you were the only one who answered "Thank you 5" when when I sent out the 5-minute warning.
Yeah. But I was like, a board game where I get to act? Yeah, let me get
Yeah.
in there. So the selling point for me was I can be a guy named Falco Braverman talking in a stupid Irish accent like this. Yeah, sign me up. And that's how I got into it, was for like 5 years. That was Falco Braverman.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in on that train because I, like the other two gentlemen, were also one of those who got introduced to it in college. However, unlike you two, my first game was the worst game that I've ever played and nearly put me
dang.
off TTRPGs in general.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
If anyone's been on like Reddit's RPG horror stories,
Yeah.
Yup.
it hit every trope on the list, and I was like, I walked out of it going like, is this what is this what D&D is like? And I went back and I was talking with Chris, and I'm explaining to him, and he goes, no, that's not D&D. No, like 2 weeks or whatever. It's like, we're gonna sit down, we'll make you a character, and you will play actual D&D. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like we played. I'm like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is the good stuff. I like the good stuff. And then I was hooked.
Yeah.
I think
mine is the same trajectory as yours, Patch. I was in uni. A guy on my course was like, come do D&D with me. And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't even realize there was a book. I never read the player's handbook for the first like 2 years, like because he didn't have the books. Like I don't know how he ran it. I've still not figured it out. But he ran D&D, but he was also like a big name in the anime society, and I do not watch much anime. So all of the NPCs were based off anime characters. So I was like a bit lost and confused. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't get all the like pop culture references that everyone else was popping off on. And like it wasn't a bad campaign by any means. It just wasn't like the right fit for me. And so then I ended up not playing for a little while, and then I moved to Manchester where I live now, and I started a postgrad. And I joined the Tabletop Role-Playing Game Society because I was like, I do actually really love D&D, and it would be cool to actually probably get back into it. And then I have my, like, TTRPG horror story table. Like, these boys, some of them were really lovely. I don't want to paint them all with the same brush, but, like, I would sometimes have to miss a session, and then I'd come the next week and they'd be like, yeah, we made loads of jokes, like, roasting women when you weren't here. And I'm like, okay, cool, I guess. Like,
Great.
have fun being horrible, I think.
Why did I need to know?
yeah.
So that one
Yeah.
was a bit off, and then like when that ended, I like went to the university's Facebook group and was like, "Hi, I'd really love to play some D&D, please." And Andrew was like, "Yes, my child, come to me." And like since then, I have just been playing and playing and playing and playing and playing. And the question was like, when did you realize you're addicted? I think I can pinpoint a session, and it was a session where. It was back when everyone could play at a table. It was before we were streaming and everything. And we just played for like 9 hours. And it was ridiculous.
God.
Wow.
It was so long.
Fun.
And there were just so many reveals and twists and turns. Like someone went off hunting on their own and like was going to die and then rolled the nat 20 on the death save, and then a huge enemy that wore a mask and had been masked the whole time, and you know we were itty bitty level 3s or something, took off his mask and he was a mind flayer, and it was like so intense and such a roller coaster, and we just kept playing for hours and hours and hours. And I think that is when I'm like, yeah, okay, this is my hobby now, this is it, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I would like to jokingly say that I realized it when I realized that dice collecting was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not the only one that hoards dice. But no, I think I really think in general, like your level of addiction, shall we say, is based on like who you're playing with, like the table that you're at, because it can absolutely, like, you can have like the worst table ever and just be like, I'm never going back to that again, or you could have the best table ever and be like, this is the greatest game in the world, you know? And I think that is what makes all the difference, because it wasn't until I like got in with a group of people that were totally into what we were doing that I was like, yeah, all right, this is really fun, you know? Before it was just kind of like I do it to pass the time. I was late getting into it too. I didn't start playing until I was like 26. So yeah.
I always tell people you got to workshop the tables you're at. Like they're not always gonna fit for you. Thankfully, like when I started playing with 6 of my like very closest friends. So like we already knew each other's like boundaries and what we thought was funny and you know things like that, and we all very much meshed together. But when I was in college, I played at tables where I was like, not for me. Like this just isn't for me. The way they play, who they are, the things they say, just not for me. But I always tell people, don't let that throw you off. You'll find a table that you vibe with for sure.
Yeah.
The Tomb of Annihilation game I play in, they have an off tomb game that they all play that I'm not in. And the reason I'm not in it is they just play it all the time. They played Curse of Strahd in like 2 months, like the whole module. I don't like they played like 5 nights a week because they just love playing with each other so much.
Was this like at the start of the pandemic?
Yeah, it's been during lockdown and stuff while they had way more free time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say that makes a little more sense.
I get that, and I feel less bad. I feel less like, wow, I do not play this game as much as I could.
I couldn't play it that many nights a week. Some nights a week, like, I just want to play Animal Crossing and pet my cat. But like, I'm very happy for them. Like like I took 1.5 years to play through Strahd, and they just like knocked it out in like a couple weeks, which is crazy.
No, ditto.
That dungeon is massive. Like
it's big
for like just a one shot offline. Actually went into Shard and uploaded the maps and went through all the rooms, and there is there's 89 separate rooms, and each have like some have like 10 to 20 sub items within each room. And I rewrote that all by hand, and I wanted to die.
I was a player in that one, and I had no idea there was that much stuff in there.
It's so detailed in that book, and like if we're talking about pre-writtens, if anyone out there wants to run a Call of Cthulhu campaign and you want to psychologically torture me for however long your campaign is, hit me up, because I've never been able to play that module, and it's one that I've always wanted to play and not DM for. I always wanted to play in it. I thought it'd be so cool, and I've never gotten the chance to. And I actually, I felt that way with Strahd, but I got a chance to play through that recently, so check that one
Nice.
off the bucket list.
That's fun. All right, let's see. Okay. David Tilstra has another question.
Of course
I
he
hope it's the
does.
one I think
Thank you,
it is.
David.
He would like to know if you can drink a water elemental.
I already gave my answer in chat.
As
You
did
need,
I.
you need a straw elemental.
I'm gonna go morally no. They can speak and reason. Like no, I'm not drinking a sentient creature. Not for me. No, thank you.
You see the two sides of us. I'm gonna go to the other side and say absolutely because it's just floating water, and I'm thirsty. I'm going for it.
It is comprised of liquids, so yes, it can be consumed in terms of hydration by a sentient creature. However, the pure volume, if you're trying to completely drink it, would probably kill you. So context is really important here.
I'm pretty
Counter-
sure. Go ahead.
Counter argument. This is 2 liters of water. On a normal day, I will drink like 6 to 10 of these.
That would not come to a 100th of the amount of water
I
inside
disagree.
water elemental.
I disagree.
Like a baby water
I
elemental.
would-
which
You
makes
two
it much
take the
more
math argument offline.
Yeah, you take your facts and you get out of my house.
You could freeze the water elemental and cut him into little bits and keep him in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then
Mm.
drink him in little chunks.
Elemental cubes.
Let's ignore the ethical problems with that.
Yeah, I'll retract my
situation.
answer when we're talking about baby elementals. That seems much worse than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. But like, yeah, if we're not thinking about the fact that they might be some kind of people, yeah, I can drink a water elemental, no problem.
I feel like we've turned this into like the trolley problem.
There's
You
also
can
the
drink-
fact
you can
that-
drink- you can drink the one full elemental, or you can eat all the smaller ones that are frozen. Which shall you choose?
If you go for the side with the more elementals and then have a long straw that reaches the other track, you can do all of them.
Multi-track drifting.
You just
Yeah.
need a big enough straw.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. What was I gonna say? It's like I like all I could think is that like a water elemental would just try to drown you first.
Yeah,
try.
there's also that.
It could certainly
We'd
try.
It would probably succeed in this specific quandary.
Come at me, Scrub Lord, I'm ripped.
Yeah, like if the water elemental, you're drinking it, it could just be like, no, I'm gonna go in your lungs instead. Like, it could just choose to do that,
No,
right?
It can't choose to do that. It can't choose to do
Yeah,
that.
again.
No, it can't because your body shuts your lungs.
Does
In
it
the middle of
change
it.
if the water elemental has a name?
Oh,
So-
it absolutely changes.
Wait, yeah, hold on.
I think this whole
Are
think
we
this
calling
whole-
like if
whole
it's
dilemma
but,
is-
but wait, it depends on the name. Like if it's a name like Fido or Spot kind of thing, like
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
not
make it a
drinking.
pet name.
no, like a
it's
human being name, like a,
Definitely not
Yeah.
doing
His
that.
name is like
It's-
Bob.
Yeah, if it's
No,
Bob,
not
hold
doing
on.
Bob the water
But if it's-
elemental.
But if
That's
it's like Drippy the water elemental, yeah, no,
Oh, I'm drinking that
fucker up.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, come on.
that water elemental just sounds like it could quench my thirst. So,
Chug.
but if it's like Jacob, I'm gonna have a hard time.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
man, now I'm gonna have to put a water elemental somewhere named Chug Chug Chug.
Yes. Yes.
So Vasha from chat brings up a really good point. She says, "What happens to the elemental after it's been drunk, though? Like, if they actually do have some kind of soul."
You have a child now.
Um,
It's like DBZ abridged, where it's just like back of your head, like the extra voice in your brain.
Oh God.
I got a hot
I
take.
mean,
Go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
it comes down to the lore you're using.
That's fair.
Really, that's how you answer the question. depends as if you're going by core canonical D&D lore, it would technically be sentient as you processed it out, since its spirit is linked to each individual drop of water.
Forced this creature to become a PP elemental.
I was like, it becomes PP elemental.
Are you comfortable doing
It's gonna be the worst bathroom break afterwards.
I don't know. Like it's yelling at you the whole time. Like you killed me. You killed me.
If I've learned anything from Frozen 2, it's that water does have memory. And so it's no different. It's no different.
It's not going to forget that trip.
So let me give you my hot take on, does it change if it has a soul? No, it doesn't. I will drink it.
Oh gosh, I can't believe this is the direction we've taken tonight. You know what? No. Given this crowd, I absolutely believe this is the direction this conversation is going.
This is your fault, Luna.
This is my fault. I did this to me.
You live with the repercussions of this.
Also, this kind of puts Free the P in a whole new light now.
It really does.
Damn, are we gonna have to retire the whole thing now?
Oh!
I'm dead. It's less of a fun thing now, and it falls on the same level of Free to Dead. Stop drinking water. Water elementals are people too.
I may never look at elementals the same again. This may have reframed my whole. Maybe I won't look at the whole monster manual the same again. Who knows?
Are you gonna be looking at just each thing in general? Can I drink this?
Man, how come water elemental's the only one that's consumable?
Boom, boom! Here comes the pit bean. Can I drink that?
Actually, no. This is actually covered in Descent into Avernus.
Oh gosh, is it really?
One of the devils you can interact with as a potential ally throughout the campaign has a restaurant with various animals and creatures from the monster manual used as ingredients.
Like a D&D wiki. It's wild. He's got it all.
In fact, some of the items include mucoloids, vimblites, sturges, and phase spiders.
Why would you eat a sturge? They're just little bat mosquitoes.
Oh no. Chris has a severe hatred for sturges.
No, I don't. My players do.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Sturges are hilarious.
I'm one of those people that if a restaurant says it's got ostrich burgers, I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. I have a question, and I'm sorry it's not from chat, but
That's okay.
if you had to eat a monster from the monster manual, which one would you eat?
Oh,
Kraken.
I love that you and I were so.
Kraken's a really good choice.
I was actually going to go with Black Dragon. I'm pretty sure the meat would have a nice natural acidity to it. Throw in a little salt, black pepper, marinate it in tequila for about a day and a half, and then maybe smoke it.
Now, tequila
Smoked Black Dragon
is an interesting choice to me because I feel like that's gonna be too much.
Yeah, I would have done like a bourbon maybe or something like that.
No, you don't want to mix acidity with bourbon.
No,
You have to be very careful about that.
But I guess I'm just.
Because it'll mess with the smoke of the palate. I think if you're right, if I was planning to smoke it, I should do it in an aged Highland Scotch.
Yeah.
If I was to do that.
Yeah.
Because that acidity might complement the smoke better.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, now we need a dragon.
Also, axe beak.
Axe
So,
beak.
like, in the real world, I'm a vegetarian, so like I feel compelled to say something like, "Oh, I'll just eat a shambling mound."
I was just about to say that.
But like, if I could eat anything, I might try unicorn because you know it's gonna be really fucking good.
Oh,
cursed
Unicorn
forever.
You're
okay. So if we're gonna go on the chart here, Matt and I went at this with like, I'd try a bear burger. Yeah, you know what? I like calamari, and oh my god! And then we got lion, which is kind of it's a little messed up. And you said albino rhino. Like,
if it's just, you find a unicorn and it happens to be dead.
I'm having something match to be like God.
Can I eat Vecna?
Yeah.
I mean,
Perhaps Tiamat, please.
humans can eat marrow, so if you could wrench off Rekna's other hand and crack open the bones, yes, you could eat Vecna.
You can also eat people. Like, it's the same. It's the same.
But Vecna's specifically a skeleton. He's a skeleton, so he doesn't have any flesh to eat. You have to go for the marrow.
He's also old.
Oh
and
my gosh.
very dead.
Aged human, aged god. I like god better. I think human has a bad ring to it.
Oh man. All right. Before we start getting into like more cannibalism talk,
I'm just not answering this question. I'll eat whatever you put in front of me. So
fair enough.
That is where we are right now, isn't it?
So Nolan from Good Better Quest is in chat, and Nolan asks, "What's the worst nat 20 you have ever allowed at your table?"
I'm interested in the wording of that question because I always let them go through. Like I don't ever let things not happen. And I mean, because if it doesn't make any logical sense, I'll say you just can't roll for it. Like if you're asking me to jump a football field and you can't do it, even if you roll a nat 20, I'm not gonna allow you to roll to do something impossible. I'll say they were escaping an underground prison with one of their party members that had been captured, and the big bad had thrown one of his daggers at him as he was running away, and if it hit him, he was gonna go unconscious. And my player was like, "Do you mind if I roll something to see if I like a dexterity check or something along those lines to see if I could catch it?" And he was playing a rogue, he wasn't playing a monk, but I was like, that's a really cool idea, and your dexterity is like 1 billion, so I really like this idea because you just threw it at me, like, as a last-ditch effort. And he rolled a nat 20, which was like a 30 or something crazy with the check that I made him roll, and I let him catch it. He took a couple points of damage, but I let him catch the dagger.
Nice.
And you're not supposed to it's not in the rules anywhere, but I was like, I think it's a cool idea, and you're putting yourself at risk. I think I'll allow it.
Rule of cool, man.
Rule of cool's can trump.
Rule of cool is like the biggest thing on my table. Is like I'm pretty standard. I do like abide by all the rules, but like if you can do something that makes me think, damn, that's a cool idea, I'll probably let you do it.
So the clarification that that Nolan gave was like, I roll a 20 for flatulence, or I'm not gonna read the next one.
I don't allow checks like that. So
I'm never playing.
I honestly
D&D
can't think
with
of
you
one that
again,
would fall
Chris.
into this
Yeah,
kind of
like
category.
this is so
That's
like
fine.
I played Chris's games a lot, but I mean I think of like when I was running the Dread game. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was definitely like one
You can't
moment,
roll.
but it was like pull. I told like somebody to, because the whole point of that is like you're playing Jenga, and like if it falls over, your character dies, and I feel like there was something I did where it was like you have to pull, like if you want to do this, you have to pull like 5 pieces and not knock it over. Yeah, and I don't remember what it was, but of course I was playing with the Jenga Masters, so
Of course.
that ended up happening.
Yeah, like we were all expecting to die within the I was one of the players in this, and he was like, the tower was literally like there's half of it was just one block, half of it was just one block.
Yeah.
There's no way we should have lasted as long as we did. He was just throwing numbers out there to try killing us so that he wouldn't have to come back to finish the story.
Still had
But
to.
nope, we survived. Yep.
I let my players get away with so much for nat 20s. Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head that's like the worst. I can think of one that my DM allowed as the worst when I was playing. Is I was playing with Ront, and we were in a library, and I said, I want to look for this information and try to read it. And he was like, okay, you're gonna roll with disadvantage. I found the shelf I was looking for. You're gonna roll with disadvantage to understand, what you're reading. And I rolled 2 nat 20s.
Oh,
Wow.
That's nice.
And so he was like, okay, beyond all reason, you understand, like I understood, the ethical ramifications of something that happened in this book and all that stuff. And he was like, but at the end of it, you notice your nose is bleeding. It's so great.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it was something like that for that and like a persuasion check where I like brought math into the situation. and my nose bled again. It's like Ron has these weird moments of clarity.
Where the scar tissue abates and cognitive thought can occur.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Well, if we move spending to this way, we have excellent escrow account.
Wait, Chris, I feel like it may not have been a nat 20, but when we played the Barbarian game, you made me roll... What?
Oh, yeah, that was stupid of me. Characters were stupid of me.
They were ridiculous, but I believe you had me roll a wisdom check because we were selling the deed to a city, which we had obtained by questionable measures. I will leave it at that. But we were selling it, and I had the deed, and my character was stupid. Just dumb as
This was
bricks.
his second edition, and he had an intelligence like 5 or 6.
Mhm.
So like he could speak only rudimentary common. Like that was the restriction of that intelligence band.
Yeah, but you had
Wisdom
me roll
was 17.
Yeah, the wisdom was like 17, but you had me roll a wisdom check to realize that we had a party of like 3, and I had to realize that 20 was not divisible by 3, but 21 was. And I aced that roll. I think that might be like the one thing where you were just like, all right, just roll it. I don't even like you were just broken at that point.
A shell of your former self.
That we laugh, and the characters he's talking about got to the point at 4th level because it was a de-stress campaign during finals. 2 of them actually became gods, canonical to the Discount universe, because of how busted they were.
Wow.
Like his character was 4th level, went up against an Ifrit back in 2nd edition that he had no right killing. He beat it on his own in 1 round.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great job.
So if anyone listens to Discount Dungeons, the twins are those characters. The ones that Tudak prays to, those are those characters.
That's such cool lore.
That really is.
It was such
You
a
all-
fun callback.
Bravo.
I am in awe of you guys.
It's a tough question, right? Because I can remember the moments where someone's like, "Oh hell yeah, nat 20" on, and the DM has like sighed and rolled their eyes. I can remember the moment, but I can't remember the event. But what I can remember from our campaign is we were on a goblin island, and the goblins were like very standard goblins. They all just liked fighting, and they would all just like go in each other's houses and scrap, and they were just all scrapping the streets. And they all, they had rudimentary civilization. But they were all just like messy little goblinoids. And then we found out that what they ate was they had a troll that they had imprisoned under their big tower. And they like cut bits of the troll off and ate it. And because trolls regen their body parts, it meant they just had like infinite food, and it was really gross. And so we freed the troll, we killed their leader. There was a lot of like political upheaval. And as I was leaving, I was like, friends, goblins, countrymen, lend me your ears. Stop this lifestyle of troll eating and plant seeds, sow crops. And she like just went off on one about how they should all live sustainably and eat bananas because they live in like a tropical island. And like one of the other players just kept like baiting me and being like, this is stupid, why are you making this speech? They're goblins, they don't care. And I was like, I'm gonna roll persuasion on it without even being asked. I just was like, I'm gonna do it because you're annoying me. I got nat 20 straight up, and I like so hope that one day we go back to the island and the goblins have like a thriving banana farming community.
It's either
Build
that
up
or
a
they're just
whole
all gone.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
It's either that or you just got like the Roanoke like scratching in. They're all gone. It's like, where'd they go? You don't want to know.
Don't worry about it. Nobody knows. It's a
Don't worry about it.
All right. All right. Well, we are about at that time for a break. It's already been the first hour, so we're going to take a quick break and give everybody a chance to stretch and refill drinks and all that good stuff. Hashtag free the pee, which I am never going to look at the same. And
Hashtag free the water elemental.
Release the water.
release the water elementals. And why is it always someone from Discount Dungeons that screws this up?
I think you mean makes it better.
Yeah.
Vera was the one that created hashtag free the pee, so
Yeah. So
I
it's
just
their
got it.
birthright.
fair enough. All right, we will be back in several minutes, so just tight if you haven't had a chance to enter the Twitter giveaway for the copy of that book that we're giving away. I am dropping a link in chat for everybody to go ahead and enter that and do all the fun things, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
it takes an insane amount of alcohol to get me tipsy, let alone drunk.
Hey, we're unmuting, by the way.
Yeah, we're all unmuted now, so everybody just heard that.
All right, cool.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So welcome
No
back from
private
break.
conversations.
And now you know that it takes an insane amount of alcohol to get him drunk.
Yeah, we like to have
I've
fun
seen
here.
it.
Let's
I've
continue
seen
on.
it. He's not wrong.
No, I'm really glad I stopped. What I was about to say was not okay for this show.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, here we are. We are back. I hope you all had a lovely break.
Well, that happened.
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Don't worry, none of us do.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
none of us do.
Luna, you left us alone for way too long, and you're the only constant in this group.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the break was so long. My daughter just got contacts on Friday, and so I had to help her take them out because
congrats.
she was
That's
having
awesome.
trouble getting them out. So,
It's
Hey, me too.
rough.
Still at 23 years old.
yeah.
There was a morning before middle school where I was straight up crying because I couldn't get them in.
Yeah.
It's
Aw.
hard.
I believe it.
tried
It is
for a little
hard.
bit, not for me.
Yeah.
I had contacts before she was born, but she's going to be 13 next month. And when she was 2, she got her glasses just before she turned 2. So I switched back to wearing my glasses full time so she would wear hers. And so I got out of the habit. So now this morning, if anybody watched me stream on my channel this morning, I had my contacts in because now I'm trying to like show her like, this is how I put them in. This is how I take them out, you know? So
That's really sweet, Luna.
That is nice of you.
I
That is
mean,
really nice.
it's something I can do. So, you know, it's all good. All right. Well, David posed a question in chat. So the question is, what's the best thing one of your players has done that you didn't expect, and what is the worst?
Is it okay for us to ask questions?
It's totally okay.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I'm
Um,
pretending to whisper.
I don't
Stage
know
whisper.
either.
Very good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to say like one of the main hooks in my last campaign was one of the betrayer gods was trying to unite all the rest of them to come back and unite everything so that they can rule over it together. And one of my players at the last session of a 5-year campaign that we ran, he looked me dead in my eyes and said, you know, is there any way I can save her? Is there any way that I can fix her after this and we can grow together? Because he was going to ascend no matter what. I already knew this, and he already knew this. He said, I want to walk her down my path and see if I can get her back to what she used to be before she was corrupted. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, notes, I'm gonna throw all y'all out because this is cool as hell. I was like, and it was the end of the campaign, and I was like, that's such a cool thing to do. And I was like, let's do that. And it was just like a nice end to the campaign that I didn't see coming. So yeah, I would say that's definitely one.
I think the one that I enjoyed the most, at least in recent memory, was when Skizix revived Stacy's son. Megan's character had amnesia. She didn't know about her wife, her son, any of her past or anything. And her friend Skizix did. So we had our lovely friend Tom from Green Mountain Missions join us. He was playing an NPC from her background. Big reveal, everything happens. Her son is disintegrated. It's a great moment. It's actually one of the ones, I think it was Stag asked for like episodes to listen to for everyone's like stuff. That was one of the ones I wanted to recommend, but you needed context throughout the story for it to actually be a good one-off listen.
Yeah.
So I'm spoiling it for you. Yay! Anyway, he had...
Guys!
It's a surprise. I had done a semi-stupid DM thing, gave him a Ring of Wish with one wish just as like a get-out-of-jail-free card in case the dice decided to be evil one night. Because I was trying to be the opposite of my usual, oh, they're all dead, that's fine. And he uses it to bring back a major NPC that unlocks all of this character's backstory a good like 6 to 12 months ahead of schedule. So like I love the moment because it was this departure from his character. It was a huge step for her, led to a lot of interesting moments, but I basically had to advance portions of my campaign up like 6 to 12 months.
Oh.
Oh. Go ahead.
I have an answer for the worst, and it's just like a sad one, but it's really interesting, so I wanna share the story. I ran a mini game, so it ended up being like 4 or 5 sessions, I can't remember now, that was all based around a night hag. And there's this really sweet girl you befriended at the beginning who was just coming up to her 13th birthday, which, if you know about hag lore, is when young girls become hags. And you know, I was quite surprised because my players are all very into, like, lots of them GM, lots of them know a lot of meta knowledge. So I was surprised it took them so long to figure out that this 12-year-old girl kept being like, yeah, it's going to be my birthday at the end of the month. And my mom's dead, and I never met my own mom. And they were like, oh, wait, maybe she's actually a hag, like, right near the end. I was like, yes, guys, come on. But it was a night hag where people had asked for horror, so I specifically asked what your character's afraid of, and I wrote individual nightmares for everyone that were like really rough and bleak, but like it's because they'd asked for it, so I guess. But right at the end, there was one character who was a vampire, and we'd like brewed like a vampire PC stat block she could play, and she was like a warlock of a huge undead entity that implied that he wanted everything destroyed. So right at the end, she whispered me on Roll20 being like, yeah, I'm gonna actually betray everyone and try and destroy them to please my patron. And I was like, okay. And then it didn't work because, you know, it was like a 4v1 and she, you know, was a warlock with only 2 spell slots and whatnot. And so she turned into a bat and just flew away. And it was just really, really sad. And everyone was just really sad because they all really liked her. And they all were like, no, it's okay. And she was like, no, I'm too evil. I can't hang out with you. And it was just like really intense and beautiful. And like it meant she couldn't come to any, like it was right at the end of the session as well. So then we did the finale wrap up. And she couldn't come, you know, her character couldn't be at any of the finale because she decided to like betray everyone and run away. And it was really unexpected. And it was the worst because it was just like this huge catharsis for the player. But it was really beautiful to play out, but like I kept having to message her afterwards being like, are you okay? Are you sure you're fine? That was like a really intense thing you just did. And yeah, it was just ended up being very, very sweet in the end. Because it was just a way for her to get out like a lot of like out of character feelings and stuff. And it was, yeah, D&D is catharsis, which is always nice.
Excuse me. The best one for me is my friend Kate, who plays with us, plays as Cash Black, who is a very awkward bard who is like 18 years old. And our Durak, Doug's character, who was like in his 30s in the game, was in a fight with a ghost and lost like, I think it was like 40 years off his life. So he was immediately like an old man. And orcs, I think, canonically live to be like 80 years old or something like that. They don't live super long. So Cash approached, there's kind of a OP DMPC I have in there who was ready to go and find a scroll of greater restoration. But before that happened, Cash stepped forward and through a mechanic we have in the game, gave up some of his own life to restore Durak to his age. And the choice I gave Kate was, do you want to do this, you will lose this many maximum hit points. And she didn't question it. She didn't. She was immediately like, yeah, no, I'm going to do this. And it was, I did not expect it. And it's not the last time that she pulled something like this. We've recorded a little bit of season 3, and she has gone ahead and pulled another move like this that would be deadly. And I gave her the chance, like a persuasion check, to see if she could pull it off, and she didn't. But like, she keeps me on my toes with those. That's the best one. And
That's
the worst
so
one.
sweet and nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I had a
Not
half
the flip side.
in my first game I ever
Oh.
ran who got by a ghost and aged 40 years, and he was so pissed for like the next 2 sessions. I was like, behind the screen, I'm gonna let you be able to fix this, but he was so mad that he was so old. I was like, you're just a silver fox. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's all right.
It's just Richard Gere. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst is twice now. My good friend and player, Douglas.
Douglas. Uh-oh.
He's in the phone.
Our players get
Oh,
called
no.
out.
Oh, no.
Has made us go into the fucking woods.
God damn it, Douglas.
I have set out. All right, like in the first season, it was like, all right, so we're gonna do this and this, and Durak goes, "Hey, does anyone else want to just kill something?" And so they're like, "We want to sneak to the woods," and this was back before I kind of came up with. It's not railroading. I call it bumper cars. It's like you can go where you want, but I've set an area. It was back before I did that, so I was like, all right, cool. We have to stop now because I have to make up a woods session. And I was like, all right, cool. That's passed. Season 2. 2 episodes in.
Right
Let's
back
go
at
on
him.
Let's
So
go into
just-
the woods.
So I think you should just expect episode 3 is going to have a woods episode at some point. Just
No.
pre-write.
Season 3. The woods are closed.
The woods all burned down.
Water woods. He's gonna go to the coral reef.
The wall is 30 feet high and 80 feet deep.
There's no woods.
There are no woods in Ba Sing Se. And so that's, yeah. Bat Duck says I burned the woods. I
Yep.
actually did say that at one point. I was like, woods are on fire. Can't go into the woods. Sorry.
Sorry.
Woods are closed.
Woods are closed. That's a good one.
Wow. So for me, I'm thinking of like other players, obviously. So for me, I think the best moment that was just in terms of like character and player growth. Megan, who plays Stacy on our show, when she started playing with us a couple years ago, like it was really one of her first real experiences playing D&D, and she, was kind of still getting into it and the role play and everything. And the early episodes, she plays Stacy, and Stacy is like your typical 6-year-old hop up on 8,000 pixie sticks, like. She's just everywhere and bouncing around and everything. And but she started like calming down and everything. And she gets into one episode, and it's like after kind of a lot of stuff had happened, and she gets back and she starts like learning some information, and she learns like some details. And it was this moment she just turns to Skizix and asks, "Am I a bad person?" And the way that she says it, like I still like, this is one of those moments that I always say, like, that got me choked up. Just it was filled with so much energy and like emotion, and just it was so cool to see like how much development like she had not just as a character but as a player. It was like so cool to see. and it was just amazing. And I will always love that moment. Now, for worst, I'm gonna kind of tweak like that mindset of worst, and I'm gonna leave it as like unfulfilled, because I think of in the session, like the game that we played before Discount became a thing, we were playing Dragon Heist, and Sean's character Rindo had this bad habit. He was allergic to staying conscious. In combat, he would be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing. All right, yeah, you're gonna get in like, a hit, you're gonna do 6 damage. Okay, yeah, you're out. You just took 3 hits in a row. Sorry, bud. but the one like adventure that we're on, he gets knocked out by like a guy basically with a gun. We raise him back up during the fight, and he goes, I'm gonna get that guy, and makes chase. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna turn out so well for him. He's like, I'm gonna climb up top of the building with no backup, all by myself, while I'm at like 6 HP. There's no way this could go badly. Guess what?
It went bad.
It went badly. He get knocked out again, fell off the building, and my character had to pull some parkour to just save him. As a wizard who's not great with the dexterousness. But I think like that worst was because like when he came around, he was like, this is like, I now have a grudge against this character, and this whatever like thing just nearly killed me twice. I want to get this guy. And I think the worst was just that it went unfulfilled, and that he just like, we never got to see that, like, never got to end that guy basically. Because I think you threw him in another fight, and Sean's like, I see red. I'm going to shoot that guy.
Yeah, Dragon Heist had this lovely thing where Drows had guns, and unfortunately, this character Rindo was just a magnet. So like, I'd randomly roll a dice to determine who was going to get the shot fired at him as like they're running away, and it was always just Rindo, always Rindo. So he ended up with the name, because he got shot so many times, 50 Kappa.
Yeah, 50 Kappa.
It was 50 Kappa because he got shot so many times.
He had so much metal in him.
Oh my gosh.
So bad.
It was terrible, and we were laughing for a good 5 minutes and had to take a break after that.
So I have a follow-up question to that, Patch. Are you saying that he gets knocked down, but he gets up again? And you're never going to keep him down?
You're never going to keep him down.
Okay, that was going off in my head, but I wasn't going to jump in and let it rip. Okay, thank you.
It's fine.
We all were thinking it. I just said it out loud.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
I'm going to say,
I'm glad you did.
That is a common theme in my campaigns. There's always one character that seems to get the consciousness beat out of them, and then just comes back only for it to happen again.
Jordan on our stream, paralysis condition. Doesn't matter the campaign, doesn't matter the game scenario, doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter if he's got say a 20 wisdom and it's a whiz save, he is getting paralyzed no matter what. I'm running a home game of Rhyme for him. There was a Yeti. He straight away got paralyzed by that Yeti. He has not hit anything the entire Rhyme game so far, because it's only just begun. Because he keeps getting paralyzed all the time. Poor guy.
Can I tell you guys, as someone who plays a fighter or barbarian, as someone who plays a martial class,
let him know
a lot. Paralysis is the worst thing you can do to a
player.
Yep.
I am so vocal about how much I hate paralysis online.
I just
my tweak to it as a DM is, because I don't have a good answer for it when it's in a stat block and a creature really relies on it, and the creature is say in a written adventure, and I just don't have the creative chutzpah to just completely rip that out and swap it for something else. I at least make the paralysis that if you save, you still get your whole turn. Rather than the paralysis at the end of your turn, if you save, you still get a whole turn. It's not great. It's not
It is-
super great, but
I think it is though.
Better
I think
than
it's
nothing.
yeah, it's very like you can switch one word of it and like make it something that doesn't like. I mean, if you mess up the roll, obviously you miss your turn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it gives a player a chance to be like, oh, thank God I saved. All right, now I can hit something because that's all they can do is hit
Yeah.
something.
I
That-
always call it an Uno skip card.
I'm gonna
An
say,
Uno
there's-
skip card in a
Yeah.
team game. Like, what's it good for?
Yeah.
It's good for rebalancing the action economy. That's really what it's used for. Same with stun.
Sometimes.
It's
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, stuns. Stuns are wonderful, Chris. Aren't they just fantastic,
I mean-
Chris?
That
They
Yeti
absolutely
paralysis
are.
that the Yeti paralysis that Prue was talking about is really really fun actually. I
Yeah, it is.
play with I play with paralysis a lot. I use it as it is written in book because I'm a bad person, but I like the Yeti paralysis, especially if you give them like, for instance, when my party was going through the snowy part of the woods in the last campaign that I ran, I gave them pack tactics, like wolf pack tactics.
Oh my god.
Why?
You're mean.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so they were able to sneak up on them and get the drop on them, and they hit my fighter for like so much damage. And he looked over at me after he was done like minusing all of his health, and he was like, "What the hell did I do to you?" And I was like, "Nothing."
Exactly. I'm sitting here like, did this dude like burn your house down and kill your
Listen,
parents?
it was a high level party. Listen, it was a high level party. I wanted to use Yetis really, really bad because I really love them as a monster. So I gave him pack tactics because I'm a really bad person.
God, guys, let me tell you, I really, really want to use a Tarask in my game, but I'm gonna give it a gun,
And then I'm gonna make 5 of them.
and I'm gonna make
Hey.
5 of them.
Hey, no one died. No one died. They all got really low. I think personally balanced encounter. So
Oh no,
I-
probably.
yeah.
I'm
No,
just
yeah,
kidding.
I know it was really really hard, especially because I made it 3 of them, so they all rolled really well on their stealth, and I was like, oh no, like I didn't expect them all to roll so well on their stealth because like when
What, you
they
didn't
all
give a
rolled
sneak
like,
attack?
oh my no, that would have been crazy. I'm gonna write that
Oh.
down.
What have you done, Patch?
Yeah. I expected like one of them to succeed on like
Drop
getting
the
past the perceptions, but like all 3 of them did, and like as I creeped up to the party in my head, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna go well.
Well, I mean, back to the paralysis. I'm fairly sure the Yetis, if you make your save, you're just immune to it for 24 hours, regardless of when
Yes,
you make the
you are.
save.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
The
like,
thing is,
it's
with
not that
Jordan,
bad.
he's not gonna make the save. That's all I'm putting out there. He is gonna be paralyzed the whole game, and
Well,
Well,
that's why you always have another character pack Lester Restoration. It negates
Yeah.
paralyzation.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
He's gonna be paralyzed throughout the entire campaign.
Just
brother-
gonna carry him around in like a little stretcher behind. Jordan, Jordan, do
this is-
something. Stand there perfect.
Right. This is Rime of the Frost Maiden, a game that is specific. They've got a whole bit at the beginning, prologue nonsense chatter that's like, this is an isolation horror game. Make sure you talk to your players about how this is a horror game. Like, respect each other, look after each other, which, like, great, Wizards of the Coast, thank you, very cool. But I took it to these 4 people, and they were like, yeah, we want to be 2 Felis, a Kobold, and a Loxodon. The Loxodon is like a stoner bro. The Felis are just like little chaos engine tiny cat people. And then the Kobold is just a gross cleric who's in love with a dragon, and she's just like, yes, I'm going to kiss my dragon, man. And they are all so horrible in this horror game that is not horror at all. It's so funny. And
Oh my
the guy that Jordan plays is the Loxodon. So like I'm imagining these 3 tiny little PCs, 2 tiny cats and a tiny little kobold trying to lift up this giant elephant on this stretcher.
It's like picking up a drunk Andre the Giant. You can't do it.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to do it at all.
Hold on, let me call Hulk Hogan real quick.
Yeah. My brother-in-law ran a one-shot one day that he called bullshit sessions, and it was, I think, 4 encounters that he named, like he gave him a funny name, and they were all deadly and broke it. So we were all, I think, like level 15 or 17, something high for these. And one of them was, I think, was just straight up called "Screw You, David," because I chose a fighter, and there were 8 archmages that only knew time stop and hold person, and 2 Ettins, which were the Ettins, no big deal to me, but the 8 wizards who knew hold person. I was just in there, and I was like, let me just make 8 wisdom saving throws, and I'm not gonna get to play this game today.
His fighter was like lagging across the screen. It was like,
It's like a Cyberpunk 2077 character.
yeah.
Glitch.
He's running at 10 frames per second.
Standing on a motorcycle.
No, 10 seconds per frame.
Yeah, 10 seconds per frame. Yeah. That's funny as shit.
I mean, if you really want to be evil, what's worse than hold person is casting slow on a character and then sticking them in difficult terrain.
Oh! That's
You're
so
about to-
mean.
Y'all call
Yeah.
my Yeti pack
Prue.
tactics bad. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, no, I take it back. You are a good, flawless person. No, that's awful. One of the other sessions in there that I loved, one of the other encounters in that was called "I Hope You Brought a Spellcaster." It was a 10-foot wide, 60-foot long hallway full of kobolds.
Oh my gosh.
And they all went on the same initiative. And so it's like 1d6, it's no big deal. It's 60 kobolds.
Oh. I like
That
my
actually reminds me
We're all bad
of
people.
one of the things. Oh, Luna.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think I just died a little bit inside actually.
Oh, I did too.
Holy
None of us
moly.
were
That
none of
brings
us had
back bad
fireball.
memories.
Yeah, one of the first things I ran with Patch, we had a paladin, and there's this room of like 20 kobolds. And he kicks in the door and says this big speech. They all turn and just pelt him with slings until he's
Slings.
unconscious.
And I'm just like, and again, like, this is first time playing. I'm like, what do I do? And this is a 2nd level wizard, so I'd like use my 2 spells. I was useless for the day.
Oh.
And he's like, here, I will give you I'll give you a bonus. Let you give 1 additional spell. I get to pick what the spell is, and just go in and have fun, kind of thing. I went, okay. He goes, okay, yeah, you cast Burning Hands.
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
I get to do things, and then like the 5 that were left were like, oh yeah, poke, 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 poke.
Yep.
And a wizard in 2nd edition, which had like I think 4 hit points.
Dang.
Yeah, you had, mind you had more than some of the other characters because you dumped a ton in the con because you didn't want to die.
Yeah,
So you had like 10 hit points.
I had 4 left at the moment, I think.
Speaking of
Wait, what am I-
dump and con though, my big thing, make a PC dump con. It is so fun because you will protect that baby with your life.
Yeah.
You will see them with their 3 hit points and be like, this is my child and nothing will hurt them. Like, usually I don't care about character death. Like, I mean, I care because it's someone I put a lot of love and passion into, but like, D&D is a deadly game, dying's part of the game, loss is part of the game, it's very interesting to explore, let's go. But as soon as I like can see that their hit points are tiny, I'm like, no, little baby, I will not let anybody hurt you. You could be one shot by a kobold. Like, and that's a personal favorite dump stat of mine. Dumping con.
So that actually kind of
that's
reminds
fine.
me of our 3rd episode of Discount. We had our first big
Oh,
like
God.
boss fight kind of thing, and we have the Flind with the flail, and the flail is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry for using bad language, but it was necessary at this point. Yeah, so a Tudak is like going toe to toe with this guy, the big fight, and everyone's like trying to take everything else out that's there because Chris doesn't like just doing one-on-one. He's got to have everything throwing at you at once. And I finally get knocked out, and then someone else I think Anna comes in and takes out the flint and everything, and the flail drops, and everyone's like, oh, like all the other everything else is now going for it, and Anna's like, I pick it up, and it's like, and Chris is like, you do what? I pick it up. Yeah, can you roll a wisdom save? Oh, that's a 1.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, he ruled it that Anna got controlled by the flail and had to attack the closest thing, which was a Tudak, who I remind you is unconscious.
Oh no.
So got the 2 death saves, and he's just like, I'm just like, I had that feeling, Prue. I'm just like, if I roll below a 10 right now, this character that I just wrote a long backstory for and put a lot of effort in, I better roll above a 10. And I remember I told everyone to turn away, and you can hear this, in the recording, it's like, nobody look, and I roll, and I go, and everyone's like, oh no! I'm like, oh, no, it's a 13, it's fine. Like, don't do that!
I mean, that was a brutal fight. Vera, who played Anna, asked me, "He's like, hey, can I try making another save so I don't kill Tudak?" I go, sure. She makes that one. She goes, okay, I hit myself with the flail to stop myself. I'm like, okay. Roll an attack with advantage, because you're striking yourself and not trying to defend yourself. She rolls a natural 20.
Oh god.
I say, okay, roll a d6 to say which flail had hit you. It's the psychic one, so everything is doubled. I'm like, okay, do you want to roll the damage, or do you want me to roll the damage? She's like, you're the DM, you roll the damage.
Oh.
I almost...
Yeah,
I was one hit point shy of nearly one-shotting her out of existence.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
Man.
It was a lot of dice I had to roll.
Like that session, earlier when David asked what made you realize you're addicted to RPGs, and I was like, that session I did that was 8 or 9 hours long is the one. There were 2 moments that mirrored these stories in that. There was one, the Mind Flayer revealed himself and did the dominate person ability where and he dominated my character. And Jordan, would you believe, was paralyzed or restrained or something. He had some condition on him that meant he couldn't move. So I got advantage. And so I hit him and I get a nat. It's the horrible classic trope of fighting a mind flayer that aha, you got dominated person, aha, you attack a teammate, aha, oh no, you get a nat 20. But I did, and I did so much damage to him, and I felt so bad, but there was nothing I could do. And then in that same session of death saves that were terrible, I can still see the dice that was rolled. It was this red dice with gold numbering, in my head, because it's such a visceral memory, because it was that person that had gone off on her own to hunt. She was a little gnome rogue. Oh, no. She was a scout rogue, and she just toddled off, and she got attacked by sturges, and she got attacked by 30 sturges, which one rogue in the dark could not fight off, and the rest of us were all in bed, so there was nothing we could do. And so she was bleeding out on the ground, just dying, and it was horrible. And I remember her rolling that dice, and that red dice just spinning and spinning and landing on that 20. And it was the biggest excitement I've ever had at a D&D table, just seeing that 20. I can still see it in my head. Ugh.
There's so many cool D&D moments like that you just remember so well. I mean, I can still remember one where my wizard was, they had not wandered, but they had been told about a fire in the northwestern woods, and he knew that that's where his partner and her tribe was. So they immediately went over there to find the entire city was scorched and burned to the ground, and they were getting collected up by slavers. And so his mind went into feral mode, and he went barging into the city to confront these big bad this big bad slave company. And he basically what he was planning on doing was misty stepping in, grabbing her, and then on the next round dimension dooring out 500 feet away, and everything would be fine. Little did he know, this guy had a sword that could stun him in place where he stood, and he did get stunned and crit like 3 times. And so he fell unconscious. The guy like slammed his sword down into him, so he failed 2 death saves. He nat 20s his next death save, so he stabilizes. Then the next round comes up. He does it again. The guy does it again, so he fails 2 death saves automatically. He nat 20s his death save again and stabilizes again.
At that point,
I'm sitting there just thrumming, dude. I'm like, oh my god, what is happening right now? Oh man.
At that point, like, that guy gets a pass. The dice gods have obviously said no.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, to me, this villain that I've written would be impressed at how how resistant this wizard was to dying, and he now wants to keep. So he ended up taking him with him in his caravan, and they had to go break him back out. But I was like, dude, you just nat 22 death saves to save your character's life. You were dead as a doorknob out there. And he was like, yeah, no, I don't know how I did it. I was like, you're lucky as shit. That's how.
Oh, man. Well, I'm looking at the time right now, and we need to start wrapping up. It's been almost 2 hours already. I know. I hate this part. This is the part that always makes me sad. So what I would like to have you all do is go back around again, and this time just again remind us where everybody can find you online, and any links or upcoming anythings that you guys have going on. Let us all know. So we're gonna start with David.
Again, I'm David from Good Better Quest. I'm the Fungin Master. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, all the various audio platforms, and we're GBQ Pod on Twitter. I am at Staghorn, I believe, on Twitter as well. We are taking a small break until February, but I mean, follow us on Twitter and whatnot, and you will be the first to hear when we start doing stuff again in February. We're going to start doing stuff on Twitch and things like that. Ooh. Also join our Discord, because I mean, you're not following enough of those. And if you think you are, you're wrong.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming on. At this point, I'm like close to having everybody in your party on. So.
And thank you so much for having me. I have been looking forward to this for weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really, really great. We'll have to get this group together again sometime. Patch, we're gonna go to you next.
Okay. Thank you all for listening to my insane ramblings for the past couple of hours. It's been great. I will leave a lot of the discount stuff to Chris, and I'll hype myself a little bit because I want to. So for those who don't know me, my name is Patch. I play 2-deck on Discount Dungeons. I also do some voice acting. I am saying that because in the next couple of weeks, the next episode of Dice Tower Theater is upcoming. You will hear my voice in there, which is weird and crazy, and I'm amazed by it. I also have some other stuff in the pipeline, some of which some people here actually do know about. And then this coming week, I'm going to be playing with Lawful Great Adventures as part of their Care for All the Regulars. Nice. I'm really excited about that.
Oh, so much fun. You're going to love it.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're gonna have
really excited.
Blast. I just recorded my episode. You're going to have so much fun.
Oh my god. I've already been talking with Jared from Monsters and Multiclass, and he and I are going to be I'm going to put a gruesome twosome. It's going to be fun.
That's great.
But yeah, if you want me as a guest on your show, or you want me to do voice acting stuff, please hit me up. You can find me on Twitter at Patchster0730, or you can find me on Discord, Temporary Patch. You will find me pretty much anywhere if we're in similar channels. And also just wanted to throw out there, I'm starting to do a thing on Twitter every Sunday. I'm calling it Sharing Sunday, or Searching Sunday. I'm sorry, Searching Sunday. And the thread is basically just, if you're looking for something like a supplement, like a idea or a guest for a podcast or creators, anything like that, you can put it in this thread, and other people hopefully will help you out and give you answers and point you in the right direction. It's something I'm going to start doing it every week.
I love that.
And if you're interested, jump on in and start doing it yourself. So yeah, that is Searching Sundays.
That's a great idea. I really like that. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming to hang out with me again. So
Thank you for having me again. We'll have to make this happen again soon.
absolutely. Chris, we'll go to you next.
You can find me, my personal Twitter, sdemons on Twitter. Anything else is related to Discount Dungeons. Discount Dungeons _D&D. We have a Twitter, a Patreon, which is kind of on hiatus since we just wrapped up season 1 and have just started with season 2. We don't have a firm date for that yet, but it is in the works. The next thing that is important, we have our crossover with Know Your Role, and From Afar, that is still in the works. That should be hitting sometime early next year. We were super stoked to record that, so we're everyone will enjoy listening to it as much as we had playing it. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming and hanging out too.
Of course, I love being here.
Yeah, this was great. Prue, we'll head to you.
Hey, I am Prue. I'm Poopy Pants everywhere online, like Poopy Pants, but with an R after the first P. And I talk about TTRPGs on the internet a lot, and I talk a lot of rubbish. And if you like rubbish and you like TTRPGs, come hang with me. But I am not just an entity on my own. I'm part of Chasing Tales RPG, which is a UK stream where we stream Dungeons and Dragons on Thursdays, which my castmates do. I'm actually retired from that game, but it's a really, really good game, and you should go watch it. And then we have a Monday variety show, which Matt has been on once and was on Honey Heist and was a really cool bear that ate a load of honey, and it was a mess. So we've got both of those, and I'm also going to be starting up a Rogue Trader game over on Witch and Craft Games. Witch and Craft are a game dev that have made a game called 12 Inner Demons that's super cool. I mean, I'm not part of them, so I don't need to plug their work, but it is super cool, so I will. But they invited me to come play some Rogue Trader and just be like a Warhammer space pirate. So I'm going to go be a Warhammer space pirate on their stream for a bit. And that'll be really fun.
That sounds fun.
And yeah, that's me. I've not got many other things on the go right now. Just noodling about the internet, making a lot of silly noise.
Well, I like it anyway.
Thank you, Luna. And thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for staying up super late to come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've nearly got all your party mates. I was like, I will do that to Chasing Tales. I will slowly make them all stay awake till 3 a.m. They will do it.
They will. Last but definitely not least, we have Matt.
Hi, everyone. My name's Matt. You guys in this community probably know me best from me being Matt on the Verbal Components podcast. It is a D&D and TTRPG talkcast that I do with one of my bestest friends, Evan. We've been doing really well, recording every week and releasing every week, except for the last 2 weeks, which we've been very, very bad about doing. But if you guys want to find us at that podcast, it's at the Verbal Components Podcast. You can find us anywhere. We are distributed on all major podcast networks. We would love to have you. Last episode was hysterical. I just listened to it today because we're supposed to record this week for next week. So there will be an episode out. Mark my words. I will stay up until all hours and to record if I have to. That's me in the TTRPG scene. I am also my own. I recently released my own personal brand. You can find me at Diagnosed Matt on all social medias. You can find me I stream on Twitch. I just hit affiliate, so thank you guys so much who've checked out my stream. It's twitch.tv/Diagnosed Matt on Twitch. We also have a brand new community Discord. You can find all these links on the link tree that's been posted in chat. Twitter at Diagnosed Matt, Instagram at Diagnosed Matt, YouTube where I do travel vlog stuff at Diagnosed Matt. And just like Patch, I've recently launched into voice acting, which has been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people that have been very supportive and helpful towards me. My casting call profile is being posted in the chat as well. So if you guys want me on any projects for voice acting, I will have a demo reel posted by tomorrow morning. Thank you, Patch, for all the help with that. And other than that, I think that's it from me.
Awesome. Well, I thank you also for coming back on and hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad your schedule finally worked out that we could make this happen.
Thank God.
Yes. All right. Well, I am Gamer Mom Luna, or Luna, depending on where you look on the internet. And this is Shared Experience. We have Sunday nights, we have Tales from the Tavern every week, except for next week. We're taking next week off for the holidays. And so we will be back on January 3rd with a lot of the guests that were supposed to be on last week. Last week we did have an issue with some scheduling stuff. Some people had some last minute emergencies come up, and it just did not pan out. So we figured it was better to just take the night off and everybody relax rather than trying to scramble. So we will be off on the 27th. We will be back again on the 3rd to celebrate the new year. And then on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we will have an episode of 50 Shades of Crimson, which is our Pathfinder first edition campaign. It will be interesting, that's for sure. And then, yeah, we do that every Wednesday night, also at 8 p.m. Eastern. And coming up in the new year, there's going to be another show starting up soon. I don't have an exact date yet, but Matt's going to be in that one too. So, yeah. So I'm excited about it because it's a Star Wars game. So it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, so let's find somebody to raid, shall we? Let's go. There's a few people I saw that were on that.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. It's coming up this week, and I don't know how many people I'm going to actually talk to in that between now and then. So, just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and if I don't see you, have a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Hopefully 2021 is a good year that is an improvement over 2020.
That's fair.
All those statements.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, definitely. I second that. Oh, also, just a reminder, if you haven't checked out our holiday giveaway on Twitter yet, make sure you do that so you get a chance to enter. And we are going to go raid a good friend of the channel. We will, if I can get my stupid internet to not be stupid. We are going to go raid a good friend of the channel who is live now. She was hanging out in chat for a while. We're going to go raid Vasha. She's playing Skyrim on stream. So, yeah. And she is a lot of fun. So let me get that going.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Awake.
Whoa, flashbacks. Oh my God.
I wonder if Hilda is still making mead with juniper berries.
I love it.
I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
An arrow to the knee.
Sorry, my internet is being so slow right now.
Let me guess, someone took your sweet roll. Sorry, I love that voice so much. I listened to it for so long that I just tried so hard to learn it.
Speaking of sweet rolls and cookbooks that are really good, the sweet roll recipe in the Skyrim cookbook, top notch. It's really good.
Oh, I need to make that.
I'm gonna need some of that in my life.
I got that book. I'm gonna need to make that this. I have this week off. I have literally until the beginning of January off.
Nice.
No, not nice. I start a new job, and my current job is like, sorry, I got nothing for you. So next week's gonna be a lot of baking.
Well, there you go. Well, enjoy that, and we're gonna. Waiting for this raid to kick through, so we will see you all in 2 weeks when we come back for the next episode.
Yeah.